Hey everyone, Mitch coming in for the Commander's Core Studio. Welcome to the show. So, mini spoiler season, or whatever we're calling it, for March of the Machine is apparently here again. Yeah, we got some really exciting ones, including Yargle and Multani, a combination of legendary creatures, one of which I absolutely love, and one of which is okay. I mean, okay, sorry Multani, no offense, but Yargle is the star of the show. And as you can see, yeah, the card is heavily inspired by Yargle. Let's talk about this awesome, fantastic, incredible card. I actually need to read the flavor text on this one too, so hopefully I don't forget to do that. Regardless, Yargle and Multani is an 18/16 Frog Spirit Elemental, so a combination of the two in those creature types. It costs 3 black, and a green, so again, a combination of Yargle being black, in Multani being green, and it has absolutely no abilities. That's right, this is a vanilla legendary creature again, of course reminiscent of the original Yargle. And the kind of really funny thing about this is yeah, 18 power is absurd. And 18/16, that is just crazy. I mean, this has got to be the highest power commander out there, right? I didn't double check that. This has got to be one of the highest power creatures of all time. And yeah, I know, okay, you could say like, well, what about, those creatures that have, based on the number of land you have or in life total. Yeah, sure, okay. Not including that kind of stuff, just based on the, just base power on this card, it's absolutely absurd. And yeah, compared to the original Yargle, it's just basically double, right? It is double. It is 9 times 2, 3 times 2. It is an 18/6, and yeah, I'm just kind of blown away by this, and that they'd actually print this. And here we go, the flavor text. I have to read this real quick too, because it's hilarious. I've heard much about you from my daughter, Multani rumbled. There was a time when I'd balk at your aid, Phantom, but she has shown me the merit in Urborg's strange ways. Replied Yargle. So yeah, there you go. That's fantastic flavor text. It's absolutely incredible. And I believe the reference, Multani's daughter, I believe is Waldrothic. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong on that. But yeah, this is a commander that has an absurd amount of power coming in from the command zone. And yeah, there's a lot of really cool things that you can do with it. And of course, yeah, people are just going to love it because Yargle. What's not to love about Yargle? So yeah, a quick reminder that on episodes like these, on quick takes like these, I'm going to take you through budget buys, which are cards that are within my budget, again, less than $1, and then also pricier picks, cards that are outside of my budget, cards that are well outside of my budget as well. So yeah, before we jump into it, a reminder that there is a link in the description below to the cards I'm talking about in this episode. And all of that said, well, if you are interested in this commander, I'm sure many players are, make sure you go pick up some of those cards sooner rather than later because, yeah, this is going to be a popular commander. I can just feel it. Now, with all that said, let's jump into it. Let's start things off with some budget buys. That's right, some cards that are less than $1. First up, again, with the absurd amount of power that Yargle and Multani has, we need like a nickname, like Yoltani, Margle. Let's just call it Margle. All right, let's go with that. Margle has Lockset Warhammer, +3/+0, trample, and lifelink. Again, this is a vanilla commander, does not have any text on it. So this is just, hey, yeah, let's give you trample, which is lovely to be able to get damage through. Lifelink, which is incredible to just pad our life total an absurd amount. And of course, that +3. All you need is that +3 to get this commander to be a one-shot KO, which is absurd. Next up, Homicidal Seclusion. Speaking of a one-shot KO, an enchantment that says as long as you control exactly one creature, that creature gets +3/+1 and has lifelink. So, if you are focusing on Voltron, just having, Margle, that sounds kind of weird. I'm just going to say Yargle, okay? It's just new Yargle, okay? +3/+1 and a lifelink. Again, your commander now is a 21 power commander that can just one-shot KO an opponent with commander damage. And also lifelink, lovely. Gain some life when you're doing that too. Fire Shrieker, do you want to just, take someone out and then some? Double strike on Yargle. That's going to be, even without any other pumps, 36 damage on hits. So yeah, they are going to be well gone. And of course, there are other doubling effects on top of that double strike. I mean, if you choose your weapon, you can just, double to our creature's power and toughness all out of turn. So it's just going to turn New Yargle into what, a 36-12? So yeah, you can definitely utilize that. And this also has additional flexibility to take out, a flying creature most likely. But yeah, you're going to want to double up that power because, yeah, there are plenty of ways to take advantage of that power. We've already talked about lifelink. We'll talk about some other ones here in a bit. Prowler's Helm is a great way to get this commander through as well. Creature can't be blocked except by walls, so unless you're playing against your friends or Kitty's the Strategist deck, you're probably going to get through on basically any opponent with something like this. And of course, there are other pieces of equipment that can help out. Other things, like they can give flying, like, Mask of Grizzlebrand. Flying and lifelink, both of which can be huge. And of course, if New Yargle does die, you can pay X life or X is its power. If you do, draw X cards. So yeah, I'm going to be gaining some life, coming through on my opponents with my 18 power creature. And if Yargle does die, oh no, let's draw 18 cards. Yeah, that's going to be well worth it. Speaking of worth it, Life's Legacy. Hey, this will cost to cast a spell. Let's sacrifice a creature, being the New Yargle, of course, if we really need to draw some cards. Draw cards equal to the sacrifice creature's power. So again, 2 mana, draw 18. That is an absurd rate, an unheard of rate. And of course, since you have access to black, you've got access to plenty of Feign Death type effects where you can just get your commander right back out when it dies and, or, reanimation effects, etc., etc. And, yeah, speaking of ways to take advantage of that power, though, traverse the Outlands! Search life for X basic land cards. Actually, Grace power when creatures you control, put those cards on the battlefield, tap, then shuffle. This is basically go get every single land, every single basic, most likely, in your deck, and just get them right into play. If your commander has, again, 18 power, that is 18 basics, ramping for just 5 mana. And of course, if you got ways, again, to double up that power or get even more power, yeah, you can just, again, go get every single land, essentially, in your deck into play. Essence Harvest. Target player loses X life, and you gain X life for X the Grace power creatures you control. Again, yet another way to take advantage of our commander's inherently absurd stats. Again, drain someone for 18, gain 18. So even if you're not taking out a player with commander damage, you can take them out with a 3-mana spell like this. But now it's time to move on to the pricier picks, and yeah, Greater Good was definitely one of the first cards that came to my mind. Again, a card that works really well with the Feign Death type cards that can bring your commander back really easily and really quickly. Sacrifice a creature, draw cards equal to the sacrifice creature's power, then discard 3 cards. So yeah, draw 18, discard 3. Oh no, I've got to discard 3 cards. You're still netting 15 cards every single time you do this with your commander. And of course, while drawing into those cards, you're going to find even more Feign Death type effects. So yeah, you can just get your commander right back out. Do it again if you need to. Rishkar's Expertise. Speaking of drawing a lot of cards and getting a lot of value, draw cards equal to the Grace power and creature you control. So again, draw 18 at the very least. Also, you can cast a spell with mana value 5 or less from your hand without paying its mana cost. So yeah, that's just some additional awesome value. And speaking of awesome, Overwhelming Stampede, that card costs 5, right? So let's cast that one for free. Until end of turn, creatures you control gain trample and get +X for X the Grace power among creatures you control. So, hey, Yargle, New Yargle, let's get +18 in trample. So yeah, 36 power, a lot of toughness as well. Coming through a trample, that is one opponent that is most definitely gone. And yeah, you may want to build this deck that utilizes other creatures as well, and Pathbreaker Ibex can help out with all of them too. Basically a repeatable Overwhelming Stampede. Whenever it attacks, creatures you control get trample, and get +X for X is the Grace power among creatures you control. So yeah, being able to just pump your entire team again and again and again. I mean, this attacking with Yargle is going to be, what, a 21 power creature, so that can be incredibly deadly as well. Selvala, Heart of the Wilds, this card is incredible. Basically a draw engine for you, and on top of that, pay a green, tap, add X mana any combination of colors, X the Grace power among creatures you control. So hey, let's pay 1 mana to add 18 mana to our mana pool just because we have our commander in play. Thank you. Yeah, sign me up for that. Unnatural Growth, a great way to take even more advantage of all of these, greatest power effects, essentially. Unnatural Growth says, at the beginning of each combat, double the power and toughness of each creature you control until end of turn. Oh, goodness. So, yeah, Yargle is basically going to be permanently in combat, a, 36, 36-12? Again, sorry, my mind is everywhere right now with this. Even simple math like this is just hard right now when I am just this excited about Yargle. But yeah, again, your commander is easily a one-shot KO. If you just have trample on it, you're probably going to take out any opponent just in combination with this. And speaking of expensive, and speaking of a great card when it comes to taking advantage of powerful creatures, the Great Henge. It's going to cost X less to cast for X the greatest power among creatures you control. So yeah, that 7 right up there in the actual cost is nothing compared to Yargle's power again. So obviously it's just going to cost 2 mana, which we of course get right back because it can tap for green. You gain 2 life when you do that, and on top of that, whenever a non-token creature has battlefield under your control, you get a counter on it and you draw a card. So again, if you are going a little bit wider with this commander, this can really help you. Whisper Soul Cloak, a fantastic piece of equipment with this commander. Equipped creature is unblockable, and equipped creature has Shroud. So now do keep in mind that Shroud obviously means that you can't target it yourself, but maybe again, if you've got those, unnatural growth type effects that, just, pump essentially, all your creatures or, that don't target specifically, that can still work with something like this. And that unblockability can make your commander incredibly deadly. The Shroud can make it really hard to stop. Speaking of which, yeah, Lightning Greaves. Hey, Shroud as well, but also on top of that, haste. So making this 18 power commander, at the very least, again, 18 power, hasty commander that is going to be quite deadly and can help you just KO a player really quickly out of nowhere. So, yeah, again, okay, sorry, Multani, for not really focusing on you, but you are not the star of this show. It is clearly Yargle. So, yeah, this is just basically new Yargle. Again, like, literally nothing from Multani got added to this card except for that green pip right there. Essentially, that's basically Multani's contribution, right? And the flavor text as well. But the rest of this card is all Yargle. Vanilla Commander, 18/6. Basically double old Yargle, which is kind of crazy again, because this is a 6-mana commander compared to old Yargle, which is what, 5? So yeah, a giant boost, a commander that I think is going to be very popular. Players are going to be really excited about it. Yargle is a, huge character in the lore, at least, I mean, not, when it comes to story contributions, but when it comes to, players being like, Yargle is just like one of the funniest, commanders ever made. Regardless, a lot of cool things that you can do with it. A very powerful commander. And again, if you are interested in building around this one, make sure you check out that card list link in the description below and consider picking up some of those cards sooner rather than later, because yeah, I can see this one being quite popular. And with that, today's episode is coming to a close. So yeah, in the comments below, let me know what your thoughts are on it. And of course, as always, thanks again and have a good one. This show and episodes like this one are possible thanks to viewers like you. If you're looking for an easy way to help support this show, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Also, hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss any new episodes. You can also go check out our playmats and other merchandise at thecommandersquarters.com. We also have a ton of brand new t-shirt designs in stock, so make sure you check out those as well. Another easy way to support this show is with our TCG Player affiliate links. So whether you're buying a deck or individual cards, you can use this general link right here or one in the description. And the final way that you can support this show is by supporting us directly by becoming a patron. There are many benefits to being a patron, and I truly couldn't do this without all of their support.